Right, new episode guys, and I told you I'd only bring you in when I'd done something. So today, Saturday, just welded that in, and as soon as I started welding I ran out of gas, so I had to nip to the shop and get one. So it's took me twice as long just to do it. So I put some welds down there. I need to put some welds in there yet. This isn't the neatest. It's really tight here. That isn't the neatest, but it's welded in. The holes don't match up, so I've got, when I've took the subframe back out, I'm going to drill the holes through and weld that piece back in, because if you remember I had to take that piece out months and months ago. So I've got that to weld back in. But I've just got to do some welds up there and I think I'm finished today. So like I said, I'll just bring you in when I've done something. And that's really tight, that. I had to manipulate those just to get them to touch the panel proper, so I just got a bit of clamps and just twisted it a little bit, just want it twisted. So it fits now. It only a little bit of a tweak. I've put a bit of weld there just to hold it, and then when I do that I'll pull that in and put that on there. But yeah, it's nice. A couple of welds on the back of there, we're done. Bit of weld across the top of there. It's got some epoxy on it. As I'm looking in there, those welds are a lot better in there this time. And I've just masked that up and put some epoxy on it, just to make it look a little bit better, keep it away from that rust. I've still got this side to do, so hopefully we'll get that done tomorrow. A little bit more done today, so not the prettiest, but it's in. Tiny bit of skimmer filler over that. Beautiful. Front panel's welded in. I've just put a couple of spots either side. Not the best there, but it's in. So I was just about to start cutting that scuttle panel. I was just marking up where the cuts needed to be, and it's time to finish. It's getting a bit late. We don't want to annoy the neighbours, do we? So in there, on both sides, I've spot welded them, and then I've I can't remember what those welds are. I've spot welded, and I've like that, what I've done there. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember things like that. So what I need to do tomorrow, if I can be bothered, cut that, take it off, clean it all up, get it ready for welding. If I'm lucky, I might be welding it Christmas Eve. But I'd love to be putting the wings on in between Christmas, but we'll have to wait and see. I've also measured the distance between those. I haven't got a clue why that's 41.1 and that's 41.4, but that's what it was when I took it out, and it's exactly the same now. 41.5 from the centre up. I don't know why it's like that, but that's what the measurements were when I took them off. So that's what the measurements are now. So that's at least that's something good. Right, so I'm just going to get on with getting this scuttle ready. That's obviously got weld through on it, and then I've just epoxied it. I'm just going to put some hammerite on it now. Well, we've got some black on it. It just looks exactly the same as before I primed it, but I've put primer on it and then I've put that on it. I was expecting it to crack up as well, and it didn't, so that's a bonus. So when I come to paint it, I don't really need to get under there when it's done. So what I'm going to do before I do this, I'm just going to clean it up again. If you look down here, you see little bits like that. I'm just going to redo this, and I cannot put the hinge on I can't put the scuttle on because I've got to get another one here. I bought this brand new, and all I've done is took the bonnet off and put it back on again, and all that it's just stripped it, and I've done nothing different to those three, and they haven't stripped, but for some reason that one's stripped, so I've got to buy another one. So I'm just going to have another do at cleaning all this bulkhead up and get it ready for next weekend. And I think that's it for today. I've cut those. Cut that one. That's how much I had to cut off. Right, so I'm just going to clean this up for a bit. Right, so I'm going to get some sealer on this. Now try not to laugh. It's been a very long time since I've done this. It's not in my I don't really do stuff like that, but I have done it before a very long time ago, so try not to laugh too much. But I'm going to put some sealer. I'm just going to put a bit down there, a bit down there. I'm going to do those wipe in, wipe out. I'm going to put a skim down, a little bit down there, try and get in there. I'm going to take that hinge off. I know I'll do another one. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to come down here, and that's it. In fact, I'm not going down there or there. Well, I might do that one, but I'm not coming down there. Reason is, I've still got to do that. So when I've got the scuttle on, and the scuttle's on, then I'm going to do this before I put the wings on. So I'm just going to do some sealer now, and I'll show you when I've finished. I've also got to find the spot back for that. I can't remember how it went on, but it was somewhere there, weren't it? When I get that piece out, I'll see it. I can't remember whether it went that way or that way, but that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to seal all this in, leave it till next weekend, because that's still not dry. It's still wet on that. I don't know whether it looks good or not. I've got, obviously where the holes are, I've just got to cut the holes off. But it doesn't look too bad, does it? Some of it's original. I never took it all off. But I've gone down that seam. I can't do the bottom of it without being in way, so when I turn it upside down, I'll finish that off. Well, it don't look too bad. So let it dry now. Like I said, I've got a hinge to buy. They're so difficult, those hinges, to fit with the scuttle on. That were it were a challenge. So I prefer to put them back on before I put the scuttle on. So we'll just go with that. It stinks, that stuff. That looks alright. Right, from the last time I was filming, it's probably a couple of weeks ago. I said that I was coming in at Christmas, but I never got around to it. This tomorrow is New Year's Eve, so I'm just going to do a little bit now, but I'm not going to be coming in tomorrow or the day after. I'm going to leave it all next weekend because it's New Year's Eve. I'm just going to chill. But what I want to do today is take these out, and I'm going to make a template so that I can, what do you call it, I'm going to put a template on there and draw around these, and then I can transfer it onto the car, because obviously mine doesn't have that, mine doesn't have that, mine doesn't have this hole here. So I want to transfer everything off here onto there. I'm going to drill these out because I took some off the flitch panel off the driver's side, and I reckon that I could reuse those on the flitch panel on the inside of the car at the driver's side. So I'm going to take those off as well. So let's see how we get on here. And I'm going to assume I can just drill through these and just sort of like chisel it off. So, and that bolt there, I'm gonna, when I've got my template made up, I'm just gonna grind that metal off and see if I can take the bolt off. May not be able to do that just yet, but we'll see. I thought I'd bring you back in. I may have got this on camera, but obviously those two holes are for the VIN plate. 1, 2, 3, 4 are for the bonnet hinge. See how in a different place it is there. That's where a tab was. I had to take that tab off because that's where the hole is for the indicator. And those two are for the tab at the bottom. Now what I've just done, see, I can't just take it off and put it back on. I've had to clean it all up. I've hammer-righted it in the centre, and I've got some well-through primer on there. I've just got to put some epoxy on that. So it's not as if I could just take that off, put it onto the inner wing, job done. A lot of this stuff takes time. So it's had to be wire wheeled and everything. So it's not rusty, but it's a tiny little bit. So got a new hinge as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put some black. This is ready now. Obviously you saw it earlier on in the video, but now that I've got that hinge, now that I'm on with that, I can start putting some black on here, because obviously it's going to be quite difficult. So what I was thinking, if I put some black up there, some hammerite, and then at least when I'm painting, it doesn't matter because it's going to be black anyway. It's all covered up, and the British Racing Green will go over black, lovely. So that's what I'm going to do. Right, it's got too late now, so I'm going to give up now. So they're red. I've got to get some drill bits for those, and obviously 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got to drill that, put a bolt on the back of it, and they're for 2 welding. I've cut that out, so it's in the same spot as that one. So I'm finishing now. I might add on to this video, I might not.